Hi, this is Simon, an accessibility analyst at Nels. I use text-to-speech to read books, my computer screen, mail, product labels, and lots of other technology. Text-to-speech is any system that turns written words into audible speech. You might be using it on your phone.
Hi, I'm Siri.
Or in your living room with an Amazon or a Google Assistant.
I'm Alexa, and I respond when you say my name.
But text-to-speech has been an accessibility aid for much longer than that. As far back as the 1980s, blind people were hooking external text-to-speech units up to their computers so that they could hear what was on their screen, much like sighted people might hook up an external display to their computer. People who can't speak have been using speech synthesizers to speak for them. These old speech synthesizers didn't sound good.
Hi, I am Accent. Have you ever heard a computer talking?
But over the years, they started to sound better. Now, with so-called AI voices, text-to-speech voices can be almost indistinguishable from human voices. Here's a text-to-speech voice based on me. Can you tell the difference? This can be useful for reading books and articles that don't have a narrated version, but when I use text-to-speech, I don't want a voice that pretends to be natural. I want a voice that lets me receive information as quickly as possible. As text-to-speech has gone mainstream, we've seen less focus on speed and responsiveness, and more focus on inflection and naturalness, which comes at the cost of responsiveness and the ability to go faster. When I use my computer or phone to read books, I use an old robotic synthesizer from the 90s, which was ported to just about every operating system that exists. It's called Eloquence, and it sounds like this.
The National Network for Equitable Library Service, also known as NELS, provides services and collections to users throughout Canada. NELS collection is owned and sustained by Canadian Public Libraries. NELS also works with international partners, libraries, readers, and publishers.
But the true strength of Eloquence is how quickly it responds when I press a key, and how easily I can train myself to understand it at high speeds.
The National Network for Equitable Library Service, also known as NELS, provides services and collections to users throughout Canada. The National Network for Equitable Library Service, also known as NELS, provides services and collections to users throughout Canada. The National Network for Equitable Library Service, also known as NELS, provides services and collections to users throughout Canada. NELS collection is owned and sustained by Canadian Public Libraries. NELS also works with international partners, libraries, readers, and publishers, particularly Canadian ones, to make books in accessible formats available to anyone in Canada who has a print disability. Simply put, a print disability is a learning, physical, or visual disability that prevents a person from reading conventional print. From the Canadian Copyright Act, print disability is defined as a disability that prevents or inhibits a person from reading a literary, musical, artistic, or dramatic work in